Ladies and gentlemen, gangsters and gangsterettes, boys and girls, aunties, uncles, nieces, nephews, grandma, grandpa, it's the world's most dangerous podcast.
Oh, shit. Dope Dealers Podcast.
The bell is here. You know what it is.
The bell is here.
It's your man Jamal Doman at Jamal Doman, JamalDoman.
Tobe Hixx at Tobe Hixx, TOBEHIXX.
And, of course, hit us up on Instagram or Twitter at Dope Dealers Podcast. That's Dope Dealers, Dealers with an S podcast on Instagram and Twitter. It's going down episode 85.
85. We ain't taking no jive.
Yeah, 85 all the way live.
What's up to the troops, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, the Coast Guard, the National Guard, the Bloods, the Crips, and the Essays.
That's right. That's right. It's going down, man. It's going down. Tobe Hixx, what's up with it, man?
Man, just glad to be back in L.A. Was in Texas over the weekend.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. Shout out to everybody that came out in El Paso, the Plaza Theater. It was a wonderful night with the homie Felipe Esparza, Rodrigo Torres, Johnny Roque. And Saturday, Corpus Christi. It was wind blowing like a motherfucker and it was raining so hard. And I had to walk outside and go get something to eat. It was pouring on my ass. I had an umbrella from the hotel. Yeah, you know you at the nice hotel when they got the umbrellas waiting by the door and shit.
Must be nice, that Comedy Road life, man. Dope independent.
And we was at we performed. We was at Selena's Auditorium.
Oh wow.
That shit was real cool. It was real cool.
Yeah. Now, when Felipe shows, what's percentage Mexican, white, black? What's the percentage?
96% Mexican, 2% white, 2% black.
You wanted the 2%.
Yeah,
right?
it just depends on the city, you know. Mm-hmm. And then it was funny because I didn't see no blacks, and then there was some working there. And that's when I went out there. First thing I said in Corpus Christi was like, ain't nobody here, ain't no niggas here. I don't know. Whew. But it was like 4. But
before you talk dope independent music, you know how we do. That is the homie Violite, one of our returning guests, Violite. This is like the fifth song he sent us. That is Dance With Me.
I'm sorry, what city is he out of again?
I think he's Bay Area.
Oh, okay.
Violite, it's going down, man, and
right on,
so it's going down, man. Listen, dope independent music, you know how we do, man. If you listen to us, you send us music, we will play it, man. We will open and close the show out with your song, man. So it's going down, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Tobe. Yeah. Shout out to everybody listening to last week's episode, man. The plant-based lifestyle with our homegirl Brandy Nicole. A lot of people like that show.
They did. A lot of people.
You can, if you haven't heard it,
that shit was informative.
Definitely, very, very informative, man. And that's how we're gonna do, man. Today episode, man, we are talking about a big topic in sports. Is it time to start paying college athletes?
Oh, it's been time.
It's time to start. We're gonna break down man, you're gonna talk about it. We got a couple clips we're gonna play. We're gonna break it down. But before we get into that, Tobe, we have another dope review on iTunes, man. I don't know if you've seen this, man. Somebody sent us a dope review, man. It came in September 22nd, 2019. It's from Abo Z71. 5-star review, dopest podcast ever. Here it go, quote, I listen to all the podcasts from start to finish on my current drives to different locations for work. They always keep me laughing and up on the long road. I always look forward to a new episode each week. Keep up the great podcast. So that's what's up, man.
Yeah, that was boo.
Yeah, that was boo, man. Yeah, so, listen, we love great reviews. So please go to iTunes. iTunes and write a dope review for us. And, you know how we do. If you send us a dope review, take a screenshot of it, send it to our Instagram page, and DM us that, and we will send you a free T-shirt, man. That's how we do, man. So, yeah, Tobe Hixx, man. First thing I want to talk about, rest in peace to, I hope I'm pronouncing this brother's name correctly, Botham Jean. Botham Jean is the brother who was shot and killed in his living room.
Yeah.
In his pajamas with ice cream in his hand.
Chilling.
By this fucking cop. And she was found guilty today. Good for that. She was found guilty today.
I thought she was going to get off.
A lot of people thought she was going to get off.
I didn't think. I never expect no white person to go to jail.
I never thought she was going to get off. I never thought. I knew.
did.
A lot of people thought that, but I don't know why y'all thought that.
A white woman,
There's no way she can explain killing a motherfucker in his goddamn living room. Now, you know what, Tobe, is
what do you
crazy?
think? I mean, I don't know what, I mean, I wonder was they fucking?
No. You didn't hear the story. No, they wasn't fucking. Her apartment is right below him.
No, I know that part, but
what happened was she was texting her boyfriend. She had a long day at work. She was texting her boyfriend. She just wasn't paying attention to what fucking floor she was on. She walked in the apartment, panicked, saw a dude, panicked, and one of the prosecutors said, you could have just backed up out of there and called for backup. In 2 minutes, the cavalry would have been there. It wasn't like he was coming out there. You just pulled out and just started bucking. Like, you ain't even. Now, here's the thing, Tobe. I understand. It was a mistake. It was a mistake. She wasn't paying attention. Even with mistakes, you still have to do time. Your mistake took somebody's life. That don't mean just because you made a mistake, I shouldn't go to jail. No, your mistake was serious. You took a brother's life. Yeah. But to me, the reason she gonna get a lot of time is how she handled it afterwards. Like, I don't know if you've been following the trial.
I didn't follow everything.
Basically, she didn't do CPR.
I'm so disgusted with white folks killing niggas. I just really.
She didn't do CPR. She texted her boyfriend before she called 911. All she thought about more was herself instead of this bleeding dude dying right in front of you. Damn. Like, I think if she would have did CPR, I mean, she still would have been found guilty, but I do think they would have probably gave her less time. They still haven't sentenced her yet, but I think it would have looked in her favor if she would have tried her best to,
Like,
but everything was about, even when she called 911, 27 times she said, I thought I was in my apartment. All she was thinking about is her. She even said one time on the phone, I fucked up. Like, bitch, the motherfucker's dying. Fuck you.
She didn't.
Try to get, he's CPR, but her actions after it happened really is going, that's why it, really showed me she didn't really give a fuck about, all she gave a fuck about, oh shit, I fucked up. She texted her boyfriend instead of calling 911. So, fuck her.
That's how most motherfuckers do in that position.
By next week, we should know what they're gonna give her for the sentence.
Is it first-degree murder?
That's a good question. I'm gonna look that up. We're gonna look that up.
Nah.
We definitely gonna look that up. So Tobe Hixx, so California passed this pay for play law where now college athletes can make money off their likeness and image. Yeah. Which should have been. They could have did this with Ed O'Bannon, but they wanted to fight because, the NCAA are like pimps, and pimps never give the hoes the money. They refuse. They're never going to give the hoes the money.
Well, nigga, I mean, yeah, you're right with the analogy, but damn. I'm cool with some pimps, so, nigga, we didn't have to put that shit on blast.
No, man, but, so, so LeBron James was behind this. He was one of the guys who were behind this. Let's hear his comments on this pay-for-play bill that went into it. It doesn't go into effect in 2023, I think. But, shout out to Gavin Newsom, the governor of California. Let's hear what LeBron James has to say. You ready, Paul? I'm going to play this, what LeBron James have to say.
Like I said, I'm just honored to be a part of it. To understand what a lot of these athletes have been going through for so many years. So it's the start of something that we believe is special.
Because it's almost like young athletes have been taken advantage of for a long time.
That's what we all believe. And that's why we can sit here. And it was also great to have Ed O'Bannon there as well, a guy whose lighting has been used for a long time. And he was one of the first ones to step up and challenge the whole the ruling about likenesses and things of that nature, and being able to benefit from it. And, so it's great to have him there as well.
LeBron, you've supported this for a long time behind the scenes. Why was this so personal for you?
Because I was one of those underprivileged kids. Obviously, I was fortunate enough and talented enough to be able to skip college. But for sure, I would have been one of those kids if I would have went off to Ohio State or if I would have went off to any one of these big-time colleges where pretty much that 23 jersey would have got sold all over the place without my name on the back, but everybody would have known the likeness. my body would have been on the NCAA basketball game 2004, and the Schottenstein Center would have been sold out every single night if I was there. You know, coming from from me and my mom, we didn't have anything. We wouldn't have been able to benefit at all from it. And the university would have been able to capitalize on everything, you know, that I would have been there for that year or two or whatever. So I understand what those kids are going through. I feel for those kids who've been going through it for so long. So that's why it was personal to me.
So yeah,
shout out to the great. You know it's a serious matter when the great Jim Hill is interviewing.
Jim Hill,
yeah, the legend.
I'll tell you my Jim Hill story. He has a brother who, I guess, an older brother who kind of looks just like him.
Damn.
I got hired. I guess they wanted Alex Thomas to host this golf event. This is like early 2000s, but I guess Alex was asking for too much money, or my friend was putting it together. They had a film crew, so they kind of wanted Alex to go like from different. I guess they call holes and just to talk to some of the people.
Yeah, that's what
so they couldn't get Alex.
Golf course.
Yeah, they couldn't get Alex, so they got me for cheap. I think I charged them like $1,500, which was a good check back in early 2000s.
Yeah.
Jim Hill, it was a lot of athletes was doing it, and I was just going around interviewing people, and Jim was real gracious. But his brother was part of it. I forgot what his brother does, but his brother was part of it, like put it together. But his brother was drunk the whole goddamn time. Like, so people were like, yeah, that's the drunk. Like Jim is the professional. His brother's like the drunk.
Wow.
But his brother looked just like him.
It's every family.
I forgot his name, but go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, but yeah.
Yeah, Jim was there. I mean, and LeBron's absolutely right. I mean, I won't take it as far as a lot of people, like slavery, but this is I mean, a travesty in epidemic proportions what has been taking place all these years. Yeah. And some athletes, the more prime athletes have been able to find ways to capitalize and shit like that, because I remember even going back as a child, like Nebraska football players back then, we was on top. We were winning national championships. And I remember, like, the university is like 50 miles from my house. I remember the players would drive down and hang out at the lake on the weekends or whatever, and they would be having brand new cars and shit like that. And, especially all the kids from New Jersey, it's when Mike Rozier was there and shit like that. They would all have brand new cars. And you know what to do. They was getting paid back then. But still, you're treated as a criminal when you're doing it like that. And these people are making billions of dollars, man. And these kids, a lot of them don't even have food to eat sometimes.
It's the old, remember Chris Webber, the story about why he left Michigan? He said he didn't have enough. He walked past the Michigan sports store, and they were selling his jersey for like $75. He said, I wanted a slice of pizza. I ain't even had enough money to buy a slice of pizza.
Yeah, man. I mean, I remember my Uncle Bobby, he was playing, he was running back at Arizona State. And he was like going through so much. He had went into a grocery store. He didn't have no money and he was hungry, and he just started eating shit. And basically they called the police, and the police came, and it was like 8 police, because my uncle's a big motherfucker. This is my same uncle that I tell you put the shit on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is my same crazy-ass uncle. So the police came in, and they all jumped him, and they beat him. And they beat him with billy clubs because he was fighting them all, and it was all basically because he was hungry, man.
Ain't that? Yeah, it's just.
And that was a long time ago. You know what I mean? These kids have been going through that shit for a long time.
It's been a racket for years. The NCAA has been.
And the amounts of money that they make.
They make so much money, and they just been pimping these kids. I've always said, it's funny. I was talking to a young lady not too long ago. I said, listen, I don't know how you will pay them. I don't know how you do it, but you should at least let them get sponsors.
Yeah,
let them get sponsors. And of course, the bigger players are going to get, obviously. But hey, that's because she was like, well, how about?
And there would be some though that
number
wouldn't get shit,
yeah, but that's number 77 on the team.
Yeah, but
so you're just that you get that college degree. That's what you get.
They got to find a way to pay everybody. Now, the better players can get more, but everybody got to get something.
Yeah, the better players are going to get. Bigger sponsors going to get more money from sponsors. Like if I'm the star quarterback of Alabama and let's say, you know, the special teams long snapper, you know, number 7, he ain't gonna get the same spot. But the world ain't fair. You ain't, motherfucker.
Hey,
I'm the star quarterback. You ain't gonna get what I get.
But you know what though? But if you do it that way, then what's gonna happen is that then the schools with the most money are just gonna get. It's just gonna be flat out. Okay, you come to USC, you getting $5 million, and then it's gonna be a bidding war that. Because the sponsors are gonna come just like that. Ain't no need of them talking about come do a commercial for my used car lot. Yeah. They just gonna flat out come with the bread.
But Will Kane, they was talking about that. That was one of Will Kane's things.
Oh, that's how it's gonna go down.
But I forgot who he had on and made a guest made. He said, that's what is going on now. Like, that's not act like it's fair now. That's like act like my beloved Temple University is on the same footing as when Temple is a school.
Yeah.
I mean, we got money. We ain't no broke school, but we ain't USC.
No, yeah, not.
So it's already not even fair now. So what's the difference? You know? Okay, so the star quarterback from Temple, his sponsorship won't be as big as the star quarterback from Alabama, but the shit ain't the same anyway.
I don't know. I think it could be, you know, they can come up with some type of uniformity when it comes to this, a little more than just, because if you just leave it open to where, you know, it's just a free-for-all in bidding, then, I mean,
it has to be some kind of organization, you know.
Yeah, it's got to be that. You can't have it like that. It'll be too much.
But the thing is, I mean, people are like, oh, this is just going to open the gates for more corruption. What you think is going on now?
Or even like, if they just go the avenue right now to start off with the likeness and all that shit, and just do it like they do with like YouTube hits and with like our albums online. When somebody buy a jersey or do that, you know, just come up with a uniform way to pay them for using the likeness. Yeah. If somebody clicks on it, uses it, however, all those ways to get paid for the likeness, just go that route first, and that will be a little more fair. That way, it will still be the people that are best will still shine the most, even with that. But they got to have some uniformity. Or
the thing is, players are getting paid now. We know this. We know they get, for every one they catch, come on, it's 20. It's just like the dope game with the drug cartels used to do. They would send a whole bunch of trucks, knowing probably 1, 3, or 4 are gonna get caught.
Yeah.
But they don't. Okay, but 20 gonna get through.
Yeah.
And you know, this is so you for every Reggie Bush, the NCAA, for every Reggie Bush, the NCAA catch, come on, it's 30 Reggie Bushes they don't know nothing about.
Oh yeah.
You think what's the kid from Duke last year, #1 draft pick? Zion, and you think he ain't getting no goddamn money.
Hey, but then it's like crazy because now, okay, Reggie's family, they got a house that they was living in that was worth basically, I mean, like $2,000 a month. So they got to live in the house while he was there and this and that. But, I mean, that's absolutely crazy. And right now, if you go to USC, if you go to the Coliseum, you will not see shit with Reggie Bush. Yeah. But you will see OJ shit up there. This nigga killed 2 white people. I said, man, this how fucked up it is. They'd rather a motherfucker, they had a killer's uniform up there as opposed to a nigga who just got some free rent for his mom and dad.
Yeah.
How does that shit compare?
It doesn't.
He killed 2 white people.
It doesn't.
Oh man, I don't understand that. That blows my mind.
Well, Reggie Bush and them, you know that you know that story. All they had to do pay the motherfucker back. They basically told the motherfucker, "Fuck you," and they dared the motherfucker to tell on him.
I think OJ told 2 white people, "Fuck them too." Shit.
and what happened was that dude had the receipts. They didn't know he kept all his receipts. This is Gavin Newsom tweeted after the bill was in effect. The governor of California. Colleges reap billions from student athletes but block them from earning a single dollar. That's a bankrupt model. I just signed a Fair Play to Pay Act with King James, making California the first state to allow student athletes to profit off their name, image, and likeness. And now I'm hearing like South Carolina is,
New York is next. They already start. Hey, but you know what? And see, there's an underlying fact that a lot of people don't even know about. And I'll quickly go into one of Tobe's true dope stories. The other part that people don't realize is that during the crack era, a lot of Division I athletes got caught up, went to jail, got in trouble, all because they didn't have no money. And so they decided to sell crack because okay, they was looking at it like, okay, here I am, I'm balling in a Division I university. I come home for the summer, I ain't got no money, I ain't got shit. They would get caught up selling crack. I had niggas that was hoop, and you know, like I fucked with a lot of athletes when I was selling dope, and the majority of the athletes at that time that would sell crack were basketball players. There were a few football players that did it, but for some reason, hooping and selling crack just went together.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of these kids got caught up. I knew kids who were Division I hoopers come home during the summer, you know, get 7 grams of crack just trying to keep some money in their pocket and get caught up and go to prison and fucked off their career all because they wasn't getting paid. Right. And they had nothing.
Mm-hmm. Current NCAA rules do not allow a player to accept any compensation related to his or her status as a college athlete from outside sources. The organization's board of governors and its president, Mark Emmert, both sent letters to California lawmakers early this year asking them not to pass the bill. Emmert called the bill in exists. You know, I always fuck up a word.
Yeah.
Exists. I'm gonna work this out.
Shit.
Existential threat. Did I say that right?
No.
Paul, I fucked all that up. Okay. Emmett called the bill a threat to the college sports models in a recent interview. So the NCAA, you know, listen, they're gonna fight this.
Oh yeah, and then I forgot one thing, and then we gonna come back because they gonna it's treating motherfuckers it ain't like slavery, but it's like sweatshop type shit. But here's another thing before, I'm sorry, I'm going back to my True Dope story. Here's another angle what happened to the athletes they was selling crack. Some of them started making so much money that they didn't go back to school. That was another thing. I knew niggas who said, man, fuck, I can't go back to, fuck hoops. I done made $100,000 in a month and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what the fuck, I can't go back to the school. And they just drop out and just and just ended up in federal prison. That happened to a lot of athletes.
Yeah, this is it's just time. The NCAA they just greedy. They just refuse.
I mean, all the way around.
Yeah, they just.
I mean, look at the salaries of the coaches and shit. The money they make. These kids don't make shit. And then the coach can come in. He can say, you know what, tomorrow. You know what? Hey, I know I like the job here in Florida, but tomorrow I'm going to USC to coach, blah, blah. It can leave, and they just move on, make more money. Nobody say shit. The kid want to leave because he's far away from home, and he's starving half to death, and he want to go to a school closer. He try to leave. He got to sit out a year.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, it's fucked up all the way around. And, you know, it mostly, you know, the sad thing to say is it mostly affects black kids. I mean, I'm not saying that there's no poor white kids in college or athletes that families are struggling, because there are, but the majority of them are black.
So it's always another point of view, and Tim Tebow had a different point of view about this. So let's listen to Tim Tebow's
perspective, and I want to get your response to this. I'm of the mindset that we live in America. We live in a capitalistic
society. This is Tim Tebow on First
Take.
Take.
I think that the utopic point of view or perspective that people like yourself and others may be looking for, that equal level playing field where everybody gets treated the same, that simply is not reality. There are people who are elite who deserve more than those who are not. And when you have in college football a Power 5 conference with their television deals and things of that nature, and you compare them to the smaller or the mid-majors or whatever, of course there are people who have an advantage. Why apologize or hide from that reality?
Tell him, Steve.
You know, I feel like I have a little credibility and knowledge about this, because when I was at the University of Florida, I think my jersey was one of the top-selling jerseys around the world. It was like Kobe, LeBron, and then I was right behind them, and I didn't make a dollar from it, but nor did I want to, because I knew going into college what it was all about. I knew going to Florida, my dream school, where I wanted to go, the passion for it, and if I could support my team, support my college, support my university, that's what it's all about. But now we're changing it from us, from my university, from being an alumni where I care, which makes college football and college sports special, to then, okay, it's not about us, it's not about we, it's just about me. And yes, I know we live in a selfish selfish culture where it's all about us, but we're just adding and piling it onto that, where it changes what's special about college football. We turn it into the NFL, where who has the most money, that's where you go. That's why people are more passionate about college sports than they are about NFL. That's why the stadiums are bigger in college than they are in the NFL, because it's about your team. It's about your university. It's about where my family wanted to go. It's about where my grandfather had a dream of seeing Florida win an SEC championship. And you're taking that away so that young kids can earn $1. And that's just not where I feel like college football needs to go.
That's fair,
There's that opportunity in the NFL, but not in college football.
That's fair. That's fair. Can't argue with that.
Tim, as usual, I think you make a passionate.
Yeah. You know what? First things, I always liked Tim Tebow when he got everybody was talking shit. He's a wonderful dude. I mean, and any motherfucker who could stay a virgin that long with all the pussy that he had a chance to get in college, all that shit. I mean, hey, that's his thing, and I respect him. And when people bashed him as a player, I didn't agree with him. I thought he was better than what motherfuckers was saying. But the point is, he
shouldn't have been drafted in the first round.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. But in this case, he's wrong, but he's not trying to be wrong. He's white. This kid comes from a family that had money. He ain't never missed a meal, whatever. He was at school. He didn't need no money from the university. His family had money, so he's not looking at the people who are very, very poor because he can't see it because he ain't never been there. I mean, shit. So I respect what he thought he was saying, but he got it fucked up, and it's.
Yeah, he's definitely
out here. Man.
He's definitely talking from a white privilege angle.
Yeah.
Listen, Tim.
He's a great guy.
I know. Yeah. I know you. Okay. I just basically he's just saying he's missing the angle that how much money did the University of Florida make off you when you were there for them four? They made probably almost $1 billion. That. You can't, so that all should just go to the school just because, I'm just happy-go-lucky.
Hey, man, you know what it is like, it doesn't matter if it's college or pro, people just, they have no respect for the athlete. And what I mean by that, I don't mean in total no respect, but when it comes to the fact of, like, I seen a person tweet out, like, some shit like, these football players are asking for millions of dollars holding out and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. If they keep this up, I'm going to quit watching football. It's like, okay, if they holding out for millions, these owners are making billions. People never look at the motherfuckers making money. They always look at the motherfuckers who they think is shiny.
Fans always side with the owner. They always, because a lot of it's some kind of, I think they look at black athletes and don't really want. It's a racial thing.
It's a racial thing.
They always side with the owner.
Yeah.
The billionaire. You always side with the billionaire owner. Like
the white billionaire owner.
Yeah, fans are just, a lot of them just stupid.
I mean, they don't. I mean, okay, if somebody could pay somebody $100 million in a contract, how much do you fucking think they make?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You think they with each of these contracts they losing money? These motherfuckers can still pay all this. They're making way more money, and people don't get that shit. Just like these universities, man.
Yes, people just. It's funny.
And you can be violated for the dumbest shit. Like
I just don't. Yeah, people just. I don't know if it's just the way our country. I always say our country, used to. It's turned into a country of losers, and I think you got a lot of losers who
what
don't.
Is that, what do you define that? What do you mean loser?
Man, let me tell you something. It's turned into a country. If you looked at social media, it's turned into a country of losers. It's like cats don't want to see cats be successful. They just feel like. They just feel like, well, I'm in this fucked up situation. I don't want to see him get $100 million contract.
You know what? I agree with that, but I think that ain't just now. That's been going on since the beginning of time. I mean, shit, back in the days, I'm sure it was cowboys that'd be like, look at this motherfucker got 2 horses and I only got 1. Son of a bitch.
I'm thinking, back in the 60s, everybody wanted to be the Rat Pack. Everybody, I mean, it was a time when you looked up to Frank Sinatra and, who was else in the Rat Pack?
I looked up to
Sammy Davis Jr.
Tried to damn near killed himself and made a comeback.
Dean Martin. We looked up, we wanted to beat him. Now, it's today's society. If the Rat Pack was out now, half of these motherfuckers be on social media talking shit about him. Oh, fuck Frank Sinatra. You know, it's just like
this bitch ass
his
nigga
bitch
talking
ass.
about killing himself. What the fuck is wrong with him?
Sammy Davis Jr. Like it's just the way
drunk
society
ass Dean Martin.
You know, and like
drunk cigarette smoking motherfucker.
And it's interesting to hear what people say about. And I'm already seeing some comments. A lot of people don't want them players, black players, to get paid. They don't want them in college. They don't want them to get paid.
Yeah, man.
Just like they don't want. Anytime a player sits out, you know, and fighting for more money, especially in football. I'll tell you, football players get your money.
Yeah.
Football, I have no problem with any player sitting out or doing whatever he got to do, because football, your shit ends so quickly.
They compare that money to the job and shit that they do like it's the same.
Yeah,
you know
it's not the same. I mean,
these people
that's the loser mentality.
They're putting their life on the line every time they step on the field. Exactly. They could die. Shit, they got to get all the money they can before they brain get all fucked up and bashed in and shit. Yeah. I mean, get hit by Vontaze Burfict. This motherfucker getting suspended for a whole season.
That's what I'm saying.
You think that motherfucker he hit? You think he didn't earn his money the other day when that nigga crushed his fucking head?
Players are just fans are just, they just think, they selfish. They think, oh, are you sitting out, you know, you hurting our team. They just think from a team point. They don't care nothing about, you know, listen, and fans, we have to understand these players, especially NFL players, they contracts
That's why
are not
Robert
guaranteed.
Kraft, that's why Robert Kraft can go get caught up buying pussy and doing all the shit he was doing. And now motherfuckers are damn near forgot about it. They talking about Antonio Brown and his escapades.
That's right.
You know? So it is a hypocrisy when it comes to all of this shit. It's a cold game.
It's a cold game. Listen, man.
I mean, some of these kids' parents can't even afford to go see them play and shit.
And people's like, well, you're going to have to pay the volleyball team or you're going to have to play the soccer team. They don't bring in the type of money that the football team or the basketball.
They deserve some, but they just deserve
a
smaller portion.
Whatever they bring in, whatever that volleyball team bring in, first thing that football team is paying for you guys.
Yeah.
You know, they're paying for your trips. They paying for your uniforms. The football and basketball team pay that money they make, the TV contracts, we talk about the TV contracts. That's really the big money. Every team has a apparel sponsor. Like I know Temple, we're an Under Armour team. So Under Armour gives them a contract. And that's not even counting. Like Georgia just played a game. Was it Georgia? 90,000 people in the stadium. So come on.
Hey, look, man, look. Hey, Nebraska football be having 90,000 every. They didn't sold out every game since like 1963. Like more consecutive sellouts than any other school. The record would never be broke. They've been sold out since 63, man. Mm-hmm. It's people who, I remember it was a story, a couple in Nebraska, they had season tickets and they had 4 tickets and they were getting a divorce. And they were arguing over the Husker tickets. Like the wife, she wanted all 4 tickets in the divorce. And the husband was like, no, hold on, look, I take 2, she take 2. Mm-hmm. And she wanted all 4. And they ended up giving it to the husband. They ended up splitting it 2 and 2. But I'm saying this was actually part of the divorce proceedings. People put Nebraska football tickets in their will.
Wow.
To make sure that they stay in their family. So that's how much money and how serious this shit is. And I'm just speaking about my university from home.
No. Listen, it's big money. Listen, you're not paying. If you let them get sponsors, you're not paying them nothing. The sponsors is paying them. It's definitely, it's a way to do it. Because I just know what they got now ain't working.
Nah.
What they got now ain't working, and people are getting around it. They getting paid. My son was a high caliber athlete, about to go to college. I'm looking, you know what I mean? Listen, we're going to find a way to get some money.
Yeah, it ain't even no doubt.
We're going to find some way. Listen,
I'm holding interviews. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Listen, I'm smart now. Ain't nothing on text message. Ain't nothing. It's all, and when you come in, we're going to pat you down, make sure you got no recording. But, leave a bag.
Yeah. It's going to be some money. Yeah. We getting paid. We getting all the benefits possible.
So Teray said, comedian Teray, text about this. He said, just an angle on the NCAA paying athletes. If I pay you, I'm paying you based on performance. Can I rescind that payment scholarship if you're a dud? Everyone ain't a draft pick. So he's saying, I give you a scholarship, but you come and you ain't doing what the fuck you doing, So can I rescind? Can I take that scholarship? You're a dud. You ain't helping the football team out anywhere.
Nah, I don't agree with that's going too far.
That's going a little bit too far.
Now you could no. What I'm like, yeah, it's going too far. Like the way it should be is that you get your regular scholarship, but then you gotta get. You don't just come and get paid before you play. Base it off what goes on. Like start off with a certain period of time. Give everybody the same amount of money to start with. And then as the season goes on or after each season, give the person they upgrade like a raise on a regular job.
Mm-hmm.
Because they performed. They averaged 20. You don't know what they're going to do before.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't, even though like we knew Zion was going to be a baller, but Zion.
We didn't know he was going to be that much of a baller.
Yeah, so then he should have got paid after the season.
Mm-hmm.
Like to accommodate whatever his accomplishments.
Mm-hmm.
And during the season, everybody just get a certain salary. And that's how you do that shit.
Yeah, and somebody actually had an idea about 4 years ago. I think I was watching, I think it was the HBO Sports. And one idea, they was like, listen, if an athlete comes to your school, signs a letter of intent, and does they 4 years, 4 or 5 years if they redshirted, get their degree. I mean, do everything that, that do everything. Good student, get their degree. When they graduate, you should give them a check for like $25,000. Just something like a, 25, 30. I mean, well,
$25,000 after you did all that. If you average 20
that don't
for 4 seasons.
Yeah, but that don't mean everybody. How about the nigga that averaged 2 points a game? I mean, you can't. I'm saying give them something. Okay, 50,000. You graduated. You did everything. Here's something to start your life off with. No, I'm thinking you thinking.
Okay, what about the kids that go early? What if they ball and leave early? They still deserve some money for what they did.
No, you have to graduate. You have to do. No, when you sign that letter of intent, that thing is you have to get your degree. You do your 4 years, get your degree.
No,
so
I don't
cats who
agree
leave
with that.
early, they ain't tripping over no 50,000 because they going to the league to get the paper.
No,
we talking about that motherfucker.
Ain't the amount of money. What I'm saying is, man, they should be paid as they go and set aside so when they get out. But I'm saying the salary should be. They shouldn't have to graduate or whatever because because if you go to the university, if you go to UCLA for 2 years and you ball out and all your shit and all this money's being made off of you, but you leave in 2 years, that don't mean you don't get no money. I don't give a fuck.
No, you didn't.
I don't give a fuck.
We gave you a scholarship. To get your degree. That's what we gave you that scholarship for.
This is the same as what they got.
If he go to 2, he ain't tripping about getting a 40, 50,000. But that motherfucker who not make it. Listen, Toby. That and most of them don't make it to the league. So
now we just paying the niggas who don't make it.
Well, we giving them something for if they get their degree. They did everything they deserve
that anyway. But I'm saying no, I don't give a fuck if a motherfucker's a one and done. He deserves to get paid for that 1 year of bringing you revenue, blood.
Well, I'm saying he can do the sponsorship. He can still get the sponsors.
No, all that's too much. That's too much. That's complicating shit. I'm saying, They can have a program for the people who do 4 years and accomplish everything. I agree with that, but that shouldn't be the only thing.
Because most of these guys,
nigga, I don't give a fuck if a motherfucker's there 1 season. They deserve to get some chips for that 1 season. I don't care if they go to be the number 1 draft pick.
So if you there 1 season,
Zion Williamson deserves some money for this year at Duke.
If you do 1 season and drop, let's say you do 1 season and drop out, just decide college football ain't good. I'ma just. And that happens a lot.
If you perform for 1 year, you deserve
ain't getting nothing.
Something.
You're not coming here for. We gave you a 4-year scholarship. You come there 1 year, you decide, I'ma just, football ain't for me. I'ma do something else. Okay, we.
I mean, if you didn't achieve nothing, you don't deserve nothing. But if you had 1 great year and just for some odd ass reason you averaged 20 points and you just say, you know what, I'm just gonna go back to the house. If that's some stupid motherfucker out there like that, then they still deserve to be paid for that 1 year because they performed.
No, it says no.
I don't give a fuck. That's like you working a job, nigga. That's like for a year you don't get paid for none of your shows.
No, part of the deal is you can still get sponsorships, but part of the deal is I look at
Okay, well, let me tell you. Okay, what if the Improv, because they a chain. What if the Improv Comedy Club said, okay, look, Jamal, okay, it's 2020. From January 2020, we're going to book you at every improv comedy club in the country, the whole chain. But we ain't going to pay you till you finish all the clubs.
That's not, come on, man. You know that's not the same analogy, man. That's not the same analogy.
Nigga.
You get a degree, you get
that's a great one to me.
You getting a free, you know, I know them.
No, you signing the contract to do the club.
But you get a 4-year scholarship.
You get paid after, nigga, you get paid in December after you done Ontario.
You getting a 4 years.
You do them all year, but we paying you at the end of the year.
You getting a 4-year scholarship. You getting a free scholarship where motherfuckers are paying.
Okay, you getting a hotel and a plane ticket to these shows.
Because all they do now is
getting a hotel and a plane ticket to the shows.
But you do 4 years. Let's say you
and meals.
Let's say you you do 4 years
and drinks for people who drink.
You do 4 years at your college. At the end of the day, they just they give you you got senior night. You get your own. You get a plaque. You get your degree, and you get a thank you for being.
But I mean, how many? I don't know what that last. They couldn't even get a vehicle after that.
Man, you ask listen, you tell a college student who just graduated from school, and you tell them
not what I'm
you get them
about.
40,000. They happy with fucking 40,000.
I ain't talking about the nigga that's graduating. That's gonna be a social worker. I'm talking about the nigga that's going to the league. That ain't no.
The nigga who going to the league ain't tripping over no 40,000. And if he's a senior and he graduated, he got his degree, and then he go to the league, then if he won his 40, he get the 40,000.
Hey man,
you just talking about the motherfuckers going to the league? They ain't worried about that.
The 4-year commitment makes no sense to me. That's not much better than not paying them at all.
That used to be.
That's not much better.
Well, they still can get. I'm saying this is all because you can also do your. You can get your sponsorships, you can get money off your likeness, but that's really only talking about the superstar players. The only superstar players are really going to get that. I'm saying the motherfucker ninth off the bench who,
they deserve something.
Yeah, I'm saying do what he do.
But that shouldn't be for everybody. Everybody
he got his commitment.
Hey, it should be, you get paid at the end of the year, each year for your accomplishments. Now, they don't have to hand you the money right then so you blow it in college, but that, like, say, for instance, if it's, if they say, okay, 20 points, 10 rebounds, $100,000. Okay, that year, that $100,000 should be put aside. So then how many ever years you stay, if you stay 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, you get all that money at the end when you get ready to leave. Mm-hmm. And during that time, you should be paid a comparable salary so you can at least eat. And your family can come to your games.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying, man. Yeah. I know, goddamn, if you graduate, fuck if you don't graduate. That doesn't mean your accomplishments wasn't shit. That don't mean they didn't make money off the sweat off your back.
Yeah, but you listen. They still
now give them up who graduate. Compensate them for doing it.
You listen. I think you only NCAA team 12 players. Most average teams, I ain't talking about Duke Powerhouse, but like Temple, when the last time Temple sent the motherfucker to the NBA? Like, we ain't, you know what I mean? We don't.
But we're talking about all sports. So football, they got more than that.
Football, we got a couple cats.
But I'm talking about
80 players on the
amount
team.
Of players.
Yes,
each of them 80 players on the NCAA football team should get a certain salary every month, so they can survive. It don't have to be a whole lot, but whatever it is, a salary that they can survive. And then they should get their accomplishments totaled. If a motherfucker got 10 sacks, each of them sacks could be worth, say whatever, and that could be $100,000 a year for him. At the end of his college career, he should get the money that he made, and that should be able to start off. That way, if he stays 4 years, let's say, and he's got, say he had 3 great seasons, he's got $300,000 totaled up off accomplishments because of his stats. And he leaves and he goes to the pros and he don't make it. Okay, at least he got the $300,000 from the college when he finished that he could start a life with. $300,000. I know goddamn.
Well, how did you come up with $300,000?
Because I based it on, like I said, if he had 3 good years of stats, let's just say.
How you base that off of?
They can come up with a way, just like when they come up with the averages, when they come up with the sacks. If a nigga play defense, if he get 10 sacks in a year, he gets X amount of dollars. and they could do it based on divisions, Division 1, Division 2, Division 3. Obviously, the smaller divisions get less money. But that way, if somebody has a halfway good season for 3 years, and they might leave with $150,000, and they might get drafted in the 8th round and 7th round of NFL draft, and they might be on the practice team. So at least they came out with a little something for their accomplishments there, and if it don't work out, they can go ahead and make it. And then if it's the superstars who their accomplishments netted them $500,000 from college, and they go on to make $10 million a year, then they deserve that.
The only thing I would say is Alabama and Temple don't make the same amount of money. So that's what I'm saying. Like how would that work out? Alabama got a lot more money from their football program than Temple got from their football program. So how would they? Temple can't pay that guy $300,000. They ain't bringing in that type of revenue.
Okay, then that's where you go. It goes back to the same thing as recruiting. Okay, Temple will recruit the people that they know that they can afford to pay, and then the people that will be there will be the people that know that that's where they got to play, because they can't play at Alabama because they're not good enough to get paid the salary that Alabama players make, because they get more revenue.
Well, you don't know.
So that would still be the top players at the top university making the top dollar.
The first thing, and that's how
that's what it. Yes.
Because recruiting, just because you're a 5-star, don't necessarily. A lot of them 5-star turn out to be busting, and then a lot of 2-stars turn out to be good.
Yeah, but look, okay, then that's where. Okay, if you balling, let's say somebody goes to Temple and they have 2 great years, and everything looks like, you know what, they could play at Alabama for another 2 years before they go to the pros. They could do it. Then they could transfer and go to a bigger university because of their accomplishments and the money they made down at the smaller university, and give them opportunity for a change at that point. That's how you do that. If you balling out at Temple, then Alabama can come to you and say, "Look, come on, man, we ready to pay you." You passed this level.
We ready to
and
pay
it would
you.
be their option. But the player could say, "You know what? I want to go make that Alabama money," or they can stay and say, "You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and finish my 2 years and just give my best shot here," and they will have an option.
Yeah, well,
Because the players that are not good enough are not going to end up at the schools that can pay them the most anyway.
Well, the players are not good enough. The players are not good enough. Say that one more time.
The players that are not good enough are not going to end up at the schools that would be paying the high salaries anyway.
But we don't know, because I know college athletes, football players, a lot of them 2-star guys who
but then that person. Let's say somebody. Let's just say university. Let's say Nebraska brings in a player and they think he's going to be a superstar, and he ends up being not as good. Then he can still stay at the university. He'll just make less money because his accomplishments didn't reach the status they thought.
Paying,
that's all it is.
I don't know how they would pay somebody based on their stats. But I can see
they can come up with a uniform.
How they can make money off of their likeness, make money off from sponsors, and of course the star players will make obviously will make more money than the third string guys. The third string guys, I don't know what. Listen, unless you come up with a car sponsorship.
Also, another thing that can be done is that the big revenue sports, football, basketball, whatever. You can take the money that they make on a whole, and then you can come up with an amount that you put aside for the smaller level sports. So they get paid. Obviously, if you play football at Ohio State, you deserve more money than if you are on a gymnastics team at Ohio State, because it's making more money. But they can take from out the main revenue sports pot first, and then that's how it would disintegrate down and pay the smaller teams to take it from the top.
The reason I thought of that because the HBO Sports story followed a guy who played for Alabama. He wasn't a star, but he did his 4 years. He was a key member of the team. Wasn't an NFL prospect. So he graduated, and I think he got a job at the bank, like a bank teller. And they were like, that's why he was starting off his life after college. And they were like, man, it would have been great if he'd look back at, I put my work in for Alabama for 4 years. They made a lot of money. Yeah, well, shit. They gave me a check for $40 grand just to get me started in life. I thought that was,
Yeah, that's
cool.
the same thing I'm saying. Okay, he wasn't a big star. That's the same thing I said when the people with less accomplishments will still leave with something. They might leave with 150,000 or whatever. That's the same thing I was saying.
Third string ain't, you're a third string guy ain't leaving with no 150,000.
Well, I don't mean, I'm just throwing a figure like, I'm going by stats. I ain't talking about string. Obviously, if you're not on the field or on the court, then you can't build a stat. So then obviously you won't get that much. But see, and the real fact about it is that the bottom line is the reason why they don't want to pay the athletes because most of them are black. And these are the white people that feel like, nigga, we're letting y'all get an education. We used to didn't let y'all read.
Yeah.
You better enjoy that and shut the fuck up.
That's true. That's true. That's another angle, man. Well, listen, as you can hear, it's a complex topic, and we're gonna follow it. We're gonna follow this bill and see what the NCAA come up with. But we just know the way the system is now, it cannot be. It has to change, because players gonna get their money. They gonna get it one way or the other. They gonna come up and get their money, man.
Yeah. And shout out to all the brothers who tried to get their money selling crack and it fucked off their careers and their life. I know what y'all went through. Dope Dealers Podcast.
Definitely, man. So listen, man, we appreciate everybody listening to us, man. Shout out to the armed forces out there, man. Tobe, you got anything coming up?
Oh, yeah. Next Tuesday, I will be in Mill Valley, California at the Throckmorton Theater. Up north all my people up north, come check out Tuesday night comedy, early show, like 8 o'clock. And then next Saturday, October 12th, I'll be at Stevens Steakhouse, in Commerce, right across from the casino. So you can come eat a steak, laugh, and then go gamble across the street if you like.
No doubt, man. Of course, Philly, I'm coming home. Tickets are going fast. October 27th, Sunday, October 27th at the Philly Punchline, 7:30. I am coming home, man, and get your tickets. Go to phillypunchline.com, phillypunchline.com, and get your tickets. Tickets just $20. They selling fast, so holla at your boy. Everybody in Philly, I would love to see you, man. A lot of cats from my old neighborhood already told me they got tickets and stuff like that.
And to everybody else, if you know somebody in Philly, tell them Jamal coming home.
Yeah, definitely,
Tell them about the show.
Shout out to everybody listening to us, man. Shout out to Doman Cheap Movers, our sponsor, the #1 moving company in San Fernando Valley. If you need a move,
they'll make it smooth.
Definitely, man. Shout out to everybody at Comedy Pop-Up, Paul, our engineer. We love you guys. We out.
Dope Dealers Podcast.